Good morning, folks. Let's go fishing this morning. I'm in the mood. I called Elmo, and he just about went with me, but he changed his mind, so I need y'all to go with me. Because today, I want to talk about fishing weedless jigs. Okay, jigs that have a weed guard. These jigs right here are designed to go through heavy cover, such as brush tops, deep trees that's down deep, or even shallow trees. They're also good for shooting under docks. If you have a lot of cover under docks, it'll keep you from losing a whole lot of jigs. But the things that I do with a jig like this, I find that the weed guard is a little bit stiff. Okay, so I'll take about half of these, separate them about half of them away from each other, and cut about half of them off. And then I'll trim right there where the hook point is, about even with the hook point, or back just a little bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch. I'll get a pair of scissors and I'll trim those off right there. I can get a lot better hook set. Crappie is a soft biting fish. I mean, you can obviously use it just like that, but I find that I miss a few because of it. I increase my hook up. Now, this is all by opinion. Here I have one rigged up. You see half of it's gone. We'll compare them right here. I'm a train. And like I said, I cut that weed guard off about to the hook point or a little past. Limbers it up a whole lot. And this is a 1/32 ounce, real light. Now I'm going to be fishing probably anywhere from 8 to 14 feet of water in this brush, this deep brush. And you know, deep is a relative term. It depends on what lake you're on. Now here locally, the water clarity is dingy, even at its clearest. So deep water is anywhere from, I'm going to say, 12 to 20 feet. If you're fishing real clear lakes, it could be to 50 feet. Considered deep in your lake. And today, let's do this. I'm not going to fish heavy line. I'm just going to use 4-pound test Mr. Crappie. Now I buy this at Walmart. Wally World hat, and it's like $6 a spool. And this is 4-pound test, and it has 2,000 yards on it. That's why I buy it. High vis line. I can see the thump. Okay, when I'm pulling it through that brush, I'll let it come in contact with the brush, and then maybe let it fall a few inches. And when that crappie picks it up, you can see that line just. It's an advantage, crappie or not, line shy, and that's just another opinion of mine. And I'm just going to be using an eagle claw rod, a 6-foot eagle claw rod, with a Garcia Saran. I'm going to be also using Moonshine crappie jigs. Okay, now this one is the cricket, called the Crappie Cricket. And there's all kinds of different types of jigs, and I have several different ones rigged up. Let's just take it to the water and go fishing. Okay, here's the spot right here. Here's a deep tree. We're going to go over the top of it right here in a minute. Then I'll show it to you on the fish finder, what it looks like on this depth finder. Okay, here it comes right here. Let's take a look at that. See, we're in 12 foot of water, and here's the brush. See this tree right here, or brush, that's been put out here. And you can see this crappie. That's how crappie show up on this particular depth finder. All of them looks a little different, but there's fish there. Now what we have right here is a lot of shad too. Now, if there's no shad around these tops, I usually won't even fish them. They has to be shad. So we're going to come right back around. Let me show you that there's shad in the area, and that's how important shad are. They're a natural forage. Now, if I don't see shad, no matter what I'm fishing, especially on this deeper stuff, I won't even mess with it. Okay, here they are. See, these are shad right here, just little scoos of shad right here, and that's what I'm looking for. And there's quite a few of them. Most of them's on top right now, or a lot of them flipping because it's pretty early in the morning. But this is going to be a perfect day to fish this way because it's going to be real sunny. And those fish, as far as relating to this deeper stuff, they're going to be in it. So yeah, this is a good way to fish. All right, let's get set up right here and let's catch a few. Let's make us a cast. I think I'm pretty close to that. I may have missed it a little bit, but what I'm going to do is let it sink until it makes contact with the structure. I'm just working it back real slow, picking it up, letting it fall, and I'm fishing it real slow to purposely, there's some cover right there. I'm purposely wanting to feel the cover. In other words, get down in it, in amongst it. There he is. He took it right off top of that cover. Socked the leg. Not a very big one. Okay. But he hit the crappie cricket. Weedless jig. Get back in there. Where's your grandpappy? Let's make us another cast. I've got that thing. I'm at the right angle now. I'm facing towards the wind so I can really control that jig. Okay, now I'm letting it hit on top of the cover. Now I'm watching that high-vis line. It could flinch at any time. Okay, I'm in the cover right now, and I'm just crawling it off of it real slow. On purpose. Getting in it. Let's go back in there again. Now I'm all in that cover right now. I mean, virtually in it. Picking it up, letting it, there he is, and letting it fall. This is a pretty good fish right here. Yep. He hit that on the fall. I was in some thick stuff right there too. Flip him in here. Pretty good white crappie. Very important though. That's kind of a reflexive action type strike when that happens. When you're rubbing up against cover and coming in and out of that thick stuff, they just can't stand it. They'll just come out of it and just open that mouth, flare them gills, and inhale that jig. That's a pretty fish. Let's let him go. Get on back in there, crapo. Come on. Alright, let's get back in there and get us another one. That high-vis line, it does. It helps your fishing. You can see the strike, and there's no doubt about it. Just boom. I love it. There we go. Pretty good one. He was deep, deep, deep in the brush. Come on. There we go. That's a good black crappie. It's a good one. Part of his tail's missed. He was deep in that stuff. All of them are. The sun's coming out, and that makes them get real tight and into cover like that. Pretty fish. Let's let him go. In there. There you go. Okay. let's change up our style of jig. I'm going to stay with the same color and change the style up a little bit and see if we can't get bit a couple more times and maybe a big one or two. But anyhow, I'm just using 4-pound line right here, so I'm not going to tie a loop knot, not in this heavy cover. I'm just going to tie a trilene knot and get as much strength out of this line as I can get. And another thing, let's get this knot cinched up. Okay. Another thing is the way a sickle hook is designed. Let's take a look at this hook. I failed to mention this. Now this is my opinion. But you see how the end of the point is curved, which is a good thing. I mean, they're just good. It's a good hook design. But what I'll do is take the hook and bend it straight up. In other words, open the gap just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's still behind the weed guard, but I've opened the gap where it's pointing up at an angle. Instead of the hook running parallel with the shank, I got it up at a slight angle. Now, to me, that right there will improve your hook ratio, your hookup ratio tremendously. Just another opinion, but let's get positioned back and see if we can't catch us a couple more right here. Okay, we're in the cover. I mean, right in it too. And there he is. Couldn't stand it. This is a pretty good fish. No, he ain't. He's just mean down in there. But it's really simple. The main thing is to take your time. I mean, really, take your time and think. Change around, experiment, but there's another one. Little black crappie. Let's let him go. So, the little style of change that I made, the difference in the jig style may have made the difference. That was a pretty quick bite. And, you know, to me, it made a big difference because I caught a fish immediately. There we go. A little better. I tell you, the way they climb, when you're climbing off the cover, you know, you can feel your jig just riding down it, rubbing it. And when the crappie hits, he'll hit it off of that. He actually grabs it off of that type of, in that way of working the jig. It's hard for me to explain, but I can see it in my mind. I mean, he will just clobber it like that. They can't stand it. Let's let him go. I mean, this is right in the middle of the day. Right in the middle of the day. And water's hot. Okay. And, you know, a lot of folks, they claim, well, crappie won't hit right in the middle of the day when they're on the summer pattern, but that's not true. You know, not everybody says that, but most do. But when you're rubbing cover, it triggers that bite. It's a reflexive action type bite. There we go. It's a good fish right here. Folks, I couldn't help it. I had to skip a dock with this weedless jig right here. Come on in here. It's a good fish. Good one. Daggone it. Quit. Weedless jig. I just got through saying a while ago, let's put that in the bag. That's a good one. That, you know, they can be several patterns. I think I said it a while ago, but if I didn't, I'll say it now. They can be several patterns on the lake throughout the summer that'll work for crappie. Well, we did pull a few out of that heavy cover. right in the middle of it too. It's fascinating. Letting that jig hit every little branch and limb and stem, letting it fall, picking it up. When they get real tight in that cover, like that on these bluebird sky days, that's the way to go. That's one way to go anyway. It really works well. And hey, I appreciate everything. I appreciate y'all watching. Whoa. And remember, go fishing when you can, because